Greetings from Florida. Today we're working on the regulator for a Crown Victoria or Grand Marquis. These fit all the way from 92 to 2011. The clip is speeded up double time to make it a little bit faster. I'm showing you at the beginning two different door panels. They come off a little bit differently, but they're very similar. I believe we're working on 7mm small bolts on the sides there. There's a T30 Torx behind the chrome handle. Now we're going to switch over to the other door and the whole video. And if you have a 92 to 96, your door is probably a little bit different as well. You may have to struggle through it and figure out how to get the panel off. Oh, you're going to take off the cover that's over the side view mirror at the top. Be careful, they tend to break, but be careful pulling that off. Torx 30 bolt right there. Pretty sure it was the 7mm. You've got two on the bottom, one right there. Panel lifts up, it doesn't pull out, it lifts straight up. And then you've got one wiring harness, I believe, to unplug. Might be, oh yeah, there's a small harness that goes to the gas cap switch as well. Let's peel back the plastic of it. And the way you can tell, if it's making a crunching, grinding sound, that's your regulator. If it's doing nothing, it's probably your window motor. Now you could just change the window motor by taking out the speaker, and you'll see those three holes to the bottom left of the speaker. That holds the motor in. Don't unspool the regulator when you do this, because then you'll have to replace the regulator. So be careful, but you can just take out the motor and change the motor. Now usually, there's rivets involved here, where you have to bang out the center point of the rivet, the mandrel, and then drill out the rivet itself. And two of the rivets go actually through the glass. In this case, whoever did this before me didn't put in rivets, they put in bolts, which is fine. But that's why I didn't have to do any drilling there. So you can take the glass out, because you have to take the glass out to get the regulator out. If you need these, I probably have them on my website at upanddownmainstreet.com. That's a 7/16 nut. And again, on the bottom two, you're going to normally find rivets. But again, it's been done before, so it's just bolts. And in theory, you could bang out the three rivets that hold the bracket to the regulator on, but you don't have to. You could just take off the three T30 Torx bolts that hold the motor on there and just leave that bracket in there. It's a little bit easier. By the way, if this has been a very helpful video for you, please like the video. That helps me with YouTube, and it helps other people find this video if they're looking to do the same thing. And if you have any questions, just ask them on the YouTube page. So all I'm doing here is just pulling out the crap that's at the bottom of the door. And I probably didn't show you this, but it's not that complicated. You've got the new regulator, just take the motor off the regulator, put it on the new regulator, put on the bottom Torx bolt, just that one, and that'll allow you to line it up inside the door. That one where my finger was is the one you're going to put back on. And then let's put the whole thing in. Since I eventually pulled off all that paper, I could have taken it off earlier, I guess, but I didn't, so I apologize. But you get the idea. I'm just putting in a couple of nuts, I think. And I'm going to hook up. Oh, I had a problem with the switch. I needed to replace the switch as well. It wasn't working. So I'm going to run back to my truck in a minute and go get the switch. On the 2 channels on the sides, the 2 up and down channels, lightly spray them with WD-40, the ones that you can have access to at the top. They dry out from the heat and cause the glass to grab. So every 2 or 3 months, just throw a light spray in there. Now watch, it's not going up. So put my suction cup on there. See what's going on there. The other one working. I need a switch, which luckily I have with me. Also might be available on my website, upanddownmainstreet.com. If the regulator was changed before with the motor, if somebody put in an aftermarket motor regulator assembly, you will probably have to change the whole thing. You cannot put the aftermarket motors on the original Ford regulators. Now here's where I'm putting rivets back on. For that, you'll need one of the big rivet guns. If you don't have one, you might want to use 1/4-inch nuts and bolts. I'm tightening those up a little bit. You don't want to tighten them all the way down quite yet. You want to put the glass up after you put it onto the bracket and then tighten it down. So now I'm putting in the glass stop rivets. The glass stop rivets are longer than standard rivets. Again, you can use 1/4-inch nuts and bolts if you don't have the tools for this. Putting the window up. Putting the seal strip back on with a belt molding. Tightening down those 7/16 nuts. Window works great! And I generally go with the Ford parts if I have a choice. I do have aftermarket ones. Now I'm taking off the paper. I should have taken it off a while ago. And the rest of it is just me putting the panel back on. If you have any questions, please ask. And thank you for watching the video. And please remember to like the video if this was helpful. Have a great week.